I left home when my daughter was 8 years old. It was a long goodbye. My name is Eleanor. Around 1940, I lived in Paris. It was a quite decent life before June 14th. Taking care of my family, managing the house. That was all. Occasionally, it seemed there was something missing, but life still went on as usual. What else it could be? It's hard to say if I was happy or not, but I think I shouldn't have felt dissatisfied. And then, June 14th arrived. The weather that day was unexpectedly perfect. Bright sunshine and gentle breeze. So beautiful that it seemed impossible for any tragedy to unfold. The summer sunlight filtered through the clouds, casting a soft glow on the streets, carrying with it a hint of moisture. The air was filled with the unique scent of Paris, coffee mingling with the fresh, clean fragrance of the cobblestone streets. But it was all a lie. It gave a false sense of tranquility to mask the impending chaos. At noon, the German convoy entered the city center. It's strange. I've lived in Paris almost my entire life. But that day, I standing in the square, looking at the city, it all felt so unfamiliar. On any other day, even on a rainy one, this city always felt bright to me. But in that day, even though the sunlight bathed every street, I couldn't shake the feeling that everything before me was dim, as if there were an inescapable shadow hanging over it all. The streets were thick with a tense atmosphere. Women spoke in hushed tones about evacuation plans, while the men moved hurriedly, their faces anxious. Everyone seemed to be preparing for the unknown that was about to arrive. It was in that moment that you truly realized your world was slowly being swallowed up. How should I describe my husband? Before the war, he was a businessman. He was really good at it. My father always said he'd always saw opportunities where others couldn't. Sometimes I envy him, being able to do what he's good at and loves every day. But thanks to his boys' games, money has never been an issue for our family over those years. Yet, I feel he's a bit too obsessed. Sometimes, I think that if he needed it, he would sacrifice our daughter's happiness to continue his own game without hesitation. He went to the front in September 1939. Germany had invaded Poland at that time. The situation suddenly took a turn for the worse. He left at 3 in the afternoon. It wasn't too late, and by all accounts, it should have still been warm. But somehow, in that day, I just felt so cold. No matter how much I wore, it didn't help.
I'll be back with glory.
How foolish. Even now, he still can't figure out what truly matters.
Just come back!
Be right back.
I watched his retreating figure, and the life we had lived over the past years began to surface in my mind. All the tranquility began to sound beautiful, and every ordinary moment started to feel precious. As the roar of the engines echoed in the distance, the final thought surfaced in my mind. As the inevitable change approached, how much of everything I had would remain in the end? Time is a mysterious thing. Even in those days, when the world was falling apart, it was still going on as usual. Soon, it was almost 6 months since the Germans had occupied Paris, and my husband had been away from home for over a year. I always thought that habits formed over many years wouldn't change so easily. At least in the beginning, adapting to change would be difficult. But over the past year, the war showed me the other side of life. In the face of survival, all formalities could be abandoned over one night. The days spent in line for rationed food became routine. The bread was coarse and scarce. And forget about afternoon tea. Even butter had almost become a luxury. And no longer thinking about any dinner parties. Once the curfew came, you couldn't go anywhere. In August, I joined a volunteer organization, mainly engaging in some medical work. At first, it wasn't that I was particularly compassionate. I just couldn't stand that empty home, and I needed to find a way to avoid facing it all. Every day, after I arranged the meals for my daughter and instructed the helper on what tasks she needed to do, I would leave for the volunteer organization. In my volunteer work, I felt something entirely different. Even though the work was exhausting, and there were many uncertain, unpredictable factors. But every time I saw a patient who had just received treatment smile faintly or felt the slightest relief from their pain, an indescribable joy would well up in my heart. In the past, everything I did at home seemed like it was expected of me, and no one ever showed any gratitude for my efforts. But in here, I truly felt I was needed and seen, not just the housewife who used to stand in the corner of the family and give in silence. Even though by evening, when I returned home, I would still feel the loneliness from the empty rooms. But my heart no longer felt empty, because I was no longer the idle housewife I once was, but someone who mattered, who had a purpose, and who made a difference in the lives of others. In the darkest days of all Paris, I found my own light. On August 25th, 1944, Paris was liberated. People cheered in the streets, singing songs of freedom. I suddenly felt a huge sigh of relief escape me, as if I had been holding it in for the past 4 years. To my great joy, I received a letter from Paul saying he would be coming home soon. But I shared the good news with no one. Over the past 4 years, I had seen too many tragedies unfold around me. Sometimes, my joy would become a source of pain for others. Still, the moment I saw Paul at the train station, I felt completely at ease. He's really back. We embraced each other without saying a word. As his familiar scent and warmth enveloped me once more, it was all over. I thought it at the time. How naive I was. Emotions can temporarily distort reality, but the truth will inevitably rise to the surface. When the heart grows heavier, the essence of things becomes clearer. A valuable painting is nothing more than a piece of paper covered with paint in my eyes. Even in the moment I saw Paul, I sensed that something was different. But the joy of our reunion drowned out my worries, making me try to ignore the silence that had settled in his eyes. When he came home, he grew increasingly withdrawn. He often sat in a corner of the room with a dull look in his eyes, as if he wasn't even here. At night, he would often wake up suddenly, gasping for air. This can't be a good sign. Definitely not. For a long time, I tried to comfort him, but he always rejected me. At first, I thought he just needed time. But months passed, and he still didn't get better. As the days went by, he still remained silent. At last, I stopped trying. The war had carved deep scars into both of us, and some changes. If it had been before the war, I suppose I would have kept trying or just endured it, because I would have believed I had no other choice. But the war showed me my potential. Now, I know I can face a lot of things on my own, alone. Something, once you've got a taste, it's hard to go back to the way things were. Of course, I love my family, but that's not enough. I couldn't bear the thought of living my life like that. So, in the end, one morning, Before my daughter woke up, I packed my bags. Paul sat on the terrace, as silent as usual. I walked up behind him and softly said, "I have to go." He stood up and hugged me. For some reason, I just remembered that day before he left for the war, when we embraced each other just like this. In the end, he nodded, then released his grip. They say it's the worst thing a mother can do. There's nothing to regret. What does it mean to regret when I had no choice? It's what I can bear. At the end of the long goodbye, I chose to live.